by adding the component like this. So I added a component called for demo. Okay. Then I will see here, you can observe. So for demo, so for demo, a component is ready here. All three files are added for that for demo. For demo CSS, for demo HTML, for demo TS. And in for demo TS, you can see it is showing all the unnecessary part that we don't need actually, like on initialization. Those you will learn later how to handle the component cycles. As of now, we don't need that. So I will remove on init. And it is implementing some on init. We don't need to do any implementations. We will keep it simple. And here we don't need any constructors. So just ordinary. So if we add by ourselves, we can write only what we need, but it's okay. You can customize this. You can change by removing those initialization and implements. Keep it simple, because those we don't need now. Later we will learn about them and how to use them, we will see. So now keep this for demo in the startup. That means we will go to app module.ts. In that for demo component is registered, because when you add components with command, CLI command, they will be registered. So just keep it in the startup. So this is for demo component. For demo component. Okay. And in index page, we need to keep that for demo. Fine. So here we are adding for demo. Okay. Now you can see for demo works. Currently for demo is working fine. So that's okay. Now we need to see how to use it. In our TypeScript file, I'm creating a collection, public, I will say categories. Categories is equal to, it is an array. And in that I have defined categories like electronics. Okay, categories like shoes, footwear, and categories like some fashion. Some categories are there. Now it is a collection. I want this collection to be presented in the UI in HTML. In HTML, I'm adding a div, class, container, fluid. Okay. And in this, I keep a heading. So categories. Now here I need to generate an ordered list, OL, that is ordered list. In this ordered list, I need to generate a list item, LI, a list item. Now this list item should repeat for every item present inside categories collection. Means our intention is to repeat this list item. Observe here, we are writing ngFor in the list item. So what is intention of ngFor inside HTML element? Its intention is to repeat that element. But how it should repeat? It needs an iterator to understand how many times it should repeat. So we are using an iterator, LET, item of collection. Collection is categories. That means now ngFor will repeat this list item. How many number of times? That depends on this iterator. Iterator will identify how many items are there in the collection, and that count it will return to ngFor. That means ngFor gets the count of all the items present inside the collection. And that's the reason, observe now, I am not using this item, you can see that it will print the numbers 1, 2, 3. So ngFor is just a repeater actually. ngFor is an repeater. In early versions of Angular JS, before this Angular, usually we have directly a directive called ng repeat. Now they changed this into an iterator. So they changed this into an iterator, and that is defined by using ngFor. So, but the intention of ngFor is to repeat an element. So it is an Angular directive used to repeat, any DOM element, using iterator pattern. So that means it requires an iterator pattern. Based on that, it repeats that element. So that is what intention is. So this is in early Angular JS. In Angular JS, we use like this. But now we have directly ngFor. So the point intention is repeating. But see here, so while repeating, iterator can get every item from collection. Then what we can do is, so we can print that item in a list item. In a list item, I am printing that item. In a list item, I am printing that item. And you can see that it can print that item. That means it can print the list of all the electronics. So that's how it can manage the iterations. That's good. That means with a simple logic, we are adding the items. Do you know in JavaScript jQuery, in order to add the items dynamically like this, it requires a lot of logic. For example, if you know JavaScript or jQuery, so suppose categories. Categories is a collection. We want to add into an ordered list. Usually ordered list will have an ID as list. Okay. Then actually what we need to do is, suppose if it is jQuery, then we have to use dollar. So dot each, we have to use each function. This each function, so we'll use a collection categories and uses a callback function. That callback function actually reads, the callback function reads a value, that means key and a value. And here we need to, what we have to do is, so we need to create dollar. So we need to create a list item. Into the list item, we need to append the key. So that means we need to append the key, or we need to append the value. And here, so we are closing the list item. After that, we need to add this append to. We need to add this to the list like this. So this is a lengthy process of handling it. Suppose if I have to add into a table or some other design, it very complex. It's very complex. So this is actually how we do in jQuery. This is how we do in jQuery. In JavaScript, we have more lengthy process. In JavaScript, if I have to do that, so if I want to add into JavaScript uses much logic. First, we need to get, so here, so for where item of collection is categories. And for every item, first we need to create an list item dynamically. So where li is equal to document.createElement. create element li.